Hello everyone and welcome to my 2025 New Year's resolutions video. I know that this is up before Christmas, everyone's super focused on that. Meanwhile, I have been just getting motivated for the new year, putting together all my resolutions and putting together a bit of a life binder, which was inspired by a video I saw a couple months ago by Fernanda Ramirez. I'll put it just here, just a photo of it. I did not make this following that video, but I feel like I need to give credit to where I got this idea from. But basically today I'm just going to be going through all my resolutions with you guys. I have all my little vision boards in here put together, along with all my resolutions, all my goals, all my aspirations for the new year, and I thought that it would be just really nice to show you guys, maybe give you some motivation, give you some inspiration, and also just so I can refer back to this video in a couple months time and just remotivate myself as well. So let's jump right into it. Let's just say that beating my coffee addiction is definitely not one of my resolutions for 2025. So I'll also show you all the contents of this. There are some other things that aren't so much resolutions, but I will get to that. First of all, just have 2025. I'm still playing around with this page, but first of all, these are just my resolutions from 2024, from this year, as well as some photos of things that I did this year that looked like my vision board from this year. So I'll just put up a couple photos right now so you can see. Like on my vision board, I had things like going out for drinks, turning 18, doing some shopping, aesthetic iced lattes, getting a camera and everything, doing some sketches, obviously doing things for uni. And I definitely did do some of those things. I started Pilates as well, and lots of other things that I do feel like I achieved and that a vision board really helped me with. As for my resolutions for this year, I've split it up into a couple categories, being my health, my self-care, my lifestyle, my relationship, my academics, my finances, and finally my social media. So starting off with health, this is what my vision board looks like for this. So I am going to read out just all my resolutions which are here, and you know, just really kind of get it into my brain as well, for just like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve over the, like, within the next year. In the past I have put down workout 3 to 5 times a week, and I've just found that it's never overly realistic, so I've put down workout consistently. I think consistency for me is definitely the most important thing, instead of so much numbers of workouts per week. I want to go on more walks with my boyfriend. He is someone who loves to go on walks. I personally don't that much, so that's why this is a resolution, just for me to kind of get out a bit more. Give home workouts another go. Since I'm doing Reformer Pilates, I haven't done any home workouts, and I used to do a lot of them and get really good results as well. So that's why I want to try doing home workouts on top of my Reformer Pilates. I also want to track my mood, my anxiety, and my exercise, and I have set up a tracker in the back of this that I will show you in a little bit. I want to try and attend more wellness events. I recently went to a Pretty Privilege vision board party that was hosted by a mindset coach, and that just really, I just found that it was really valuable for me, and I would love to try and go to more events that kind of get me back in tune with myself and back in tune with my health. I'm also wanting to start doing regular and or consistent therapy again, not like every week or anything, but maybe once a month. I used to do therapy quite a bit, start of this year, end of last year, and I've recently started doing some more therapy again, and it is really good, just to set aside that hour every now and then just to, you know, talk everything out with a third party and kind of just reassess where I'm at mentally and everything like that. Speaking of, I want to continue to prioritize my mental health. I already do very much prioritize my mental health. I'm very in tune with myself, especially someone who has anxiety and depression. I work on a lot with just being very aware of where I'm at. At any point of the day, I can just kind of do a bit of a check of like, okay, how am I feeling? Maybe feeling a bit low, maybe I should do this. Maybe feeling a bit anxious, maybe I just need to take a step back and calm down. Stuff like that. I also want to try and maintain a very balanced diet. I don't eat an excessive amount of sugar or anything, but I definitely need to eat more fruit, probably a couple more veggies, and I probably do need to cut back on the sugar a little bit. So I just want to really kind of find that nice balance that makes me feel really good in my body. This is a very vague goal, but I think it does kind of, I know what I mean when I say this, but overall be healthy. When I say that, I mean I want to feel good in my body, again, have that diet, have that like feel good like physically, mentally, emotionally, and just overall feel like I'm living a really healthy life. I want to try and develop some more visible abs. That's my next resolution. That's also why I want to do home workouts a bit more. A couple years ago, over a summer break, I got super into home workouts, super into like Chloe Ting ab workouts and everything, and I could see my abs pretty visibly, and I was very happy. And even though Reformer Pilates has definitely helped me in terms of strength, and I can definitely see I have a bit more of a butt, and my arms are stronger, I'm kind of more toned, feel really good and everything, it hasn't really given me many visible results other than my glutes. So that's kind of why I want to do home workouts on top of that, because I do have a bit of a dream body that I want to achieve. And then finally, for health, I want to have a consistent sleep schedule, whether that's like falling asleep at 9:30 or like midnight, as long as it's like kind of the same pattern every day. That is what I think is most important for me, especially going into my second year of uni. Already this past year, so many people have pulled all-nighters. I've only pulled one all-nighter, and that only lasted until like 3 a.m. But my sleep is very important to me, and I think it's just, for me, if I don't get enough sleep, then I am not going to be any good to anyone, least of all myself. So that is why I just want to make sure that I am getting the rest that I need, especially knowing that this second year of uni is going to be super, super busy. Okay, so those are all my health goals, and I'll show you once again my vision board. Like, we have a smoothie here, we have the Reformer here, we have walks. This is kind of like my dream body. I feel kind of weird saying that, I don't know why, but that is kind of what I want to achieve. Here we have some like healthy eating, just like home workouts, sleep, just health, and also a couple little affirmations. Oh, a couple, there's one. One affirmation that says, my body is healthy and strong. And I forgot, at the top of each page of these vision boards, I have written an affirmation that's not like that little image there. So the one for my health says, my body is strong and healthy. I choose to prioritize my well-being. Moving on to my self-care. The affirmation at the top of this page is, I am loved for being who I am, for just existing, and I love myself. I think that is something that is really important to me, continuing to love myself. And I have two other affirmations on this page. One that says, I am healing. I'm someone who has actually, and I have talked about this a little bit in my mental health journey video from a couple months ago, but I am someone who is very aware and very actively trying to heal all of my past trauma, trying to take care of myself, trying to better myself in every way possible. So that's, and I know I'll never be fully healed. I know it's going to be a lifelong thing of just continuously working on myself, but this says I am healing, and I truly do believe that because I look at myself from a couple years ago and I have come a long way. So this is just your little reminder for if you're working on yourself, even if you don't feel the change as it's happening, if you can look back 2, 3, however many years, you'll realize how far you've come. And the other little affirmation here says, I feel confident and beautiful in my body. So my self-care goals, resolutions for 2025 are to continue being kind to myself, to create a dopamine menu. In case you haven't heard of what that is, it's basically just a little list of things that when you do them, it always kind of makes you feel better, whether that's doing your skincare, whether it's doing some mindful coloring, whether it's going on a walk or doing a workout. I really want to develop that for just days that I maybe don't feel all that positive or all that great. I want to try to not self-sabotage. That is something that I've worked on a lot in the past 2 years, especially since getting into a relationship. But just trying not to talk myself down so much into like a self-fulfilling prophecy almost. I won't get too deep into that, but that is something I just want to be more aware of. I want to try and create my ideal skincare routine. I float kind of in and out of skincare. I always do skincare. I'm not always that motivated about it. My skin still isn't like perfect, so I want to try and kind of set in stone a little bit the products and the routine that makes my skin the best it can be. So there's that. I want to try and journal every day. I got this little notebook that is seriously, it's just like a sentence or two a day. And I started doing that at the start of this year, and then I fell off. I fell off of it. And that is something that I really don't want to happen again next year. I want to make my routines, make my habits, and stick to them. I haven't actually written that down. I should write that down somewhere. But I want to make my routines, make my habits, and just have them in place. I want to be self-aware of what I need to work on and just what I need in general. I don't want to disassociate from myself at all. I don't do that a lot anyway, but it's just the thing of continuing to work on myself, but also being very self-aware of, okay, need to work on this. And I've been pretty good at this over the past year, just like saying like, okay, I'm acting like this because of this. This is something I need to work on. And just when I say just like what I need, just being able to maybe take a step back if I'm not feeling my best, and just being like, okay, I need an early night. Okay, I need to go for a walk. I need to just have some quiet time, or I need to get out of the house even. Stuff like that. Then we do have here continue to heal, which I have explained. I want to constantly have nice nails. I have started recently doing my own nails this year, so my own like gel-X nails. I did develop a bit of an allergy about, I want to say like 4 months ago maybe. I just started, like, I had to take off all my nails. I took on antibiotics and everything, and I'm still working out kind of the best nail routine that doesn't make my hands itch that much. And I am succeeding. I haven't had a huge like flare up like that before. I've had my nails be itchy and a little bit puffy, maybe a little bit oozy, like the nail beds, a few times, but nothing extreme like the first time. So I'm still doing my nails, but I'm trying to be really careful of curing everything properly, making sure my hands are really nice. And finally, I want to develop a hair care routine. I don't have a hair care routine. I wash and I shampoo and condition my hair, and sometimes straighten it, but that's it. I really want to try like hair oils, doing some more hair masks and stuff, but I just haven't. So that is something I want to work on, and I do really want to grow my hair pretty long this like new year. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I had really short hair at the start of the year, and sometimes I look back at photos and I'm like, I want to chop it all off again, but no, I want to be my long hair self. I want to grow it down to like my waist maybe. Definitely gonna keep like the lighter ends and everything, but that is why I just have some like photos of hair and stuff on here, just because I want to have really long healthy hair. Another sip of coffee in between these mood boards. Next up we have my lifestyle page. I really like this page. It's kind of a bit like a miscellaneous page, but this is just stuff of like uni, social life balance and everything like that. So the affirmation at the top of this page is, I am becoming the best version of myself. And then I added time for chapter 19 because I am turning 19 in the new year. Pretty much exactly on the new year. My birthday is January the 3rd, so I'm turning 19 in a matter of weeks. And then my other affirmations on this page is, in my productive era, I'm building the life of my dreams, and I am capable of achieving all of my goals. So my resolutions for this particular section is to act like the woman I want to become. I'm always someone who's had a very, very clear vision of the woman I want to be, like my highest, like the highest version of myself pretty much. So I just want to work more on acting like her, like becoming her, and you know, just instead of dreaming about her, actually being more like her. And look, this woman, this like highest version of myself, she is like, she's a boss, because I want to have my own fashion brand eventually. She's the boss, she a bad bitch, she is well respected, she knows how to get what she wants, she's not afraid to ask for what she wants, she dresses well, she commands respect, as well as being nice to those who respect her, and she's able to stand up for herself, able to look out for herself, and just all of that. She a businesswoman. She, like, I can't describe her more than that, but I have her like in my head. Anyway, my next resolution is to be a bit more loving towards my family. I love my family, I really do, but I don't prioritize them a lot at all, especially with how busy I am, and I doubt that I'll be able to spend more time with them next year than I do already. But I should probably try to work on valuing, is that a word? It doesn't feel like a word in my mouth, but I think it is. Valuing that time that I spend with my family, being present, maybe not being on my phone, having like good conversations without being distracted, because I think, you know, they deserve that. This is a bit of an odd resolution, but if you know me, you'll know that I'm not social at all. So this is a bit of a social thing, but like, go out for drinks more. I recently went out for drinks with a couple people who I'm friendly with at uni, but aren't my friend group. But it was actually really lovely to get out, share a couple bottles of like Prosecco and everything, and just chat about what's happening in our lives. And I just thought that that kind of thing is maybe something I do need to make time for a little bit more. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. I also want to attend more social events, just try and be more willing to expand my bubble a bit. I'm someone who really can be perfectly content just having alone time, and my social battery, depending, you know, on how I am that day, but my social battery can get drained pretty fast. But I feel like, you know, I'm young, I like should be, you know, going out with friends more often. I'm not interested in clubbing or anything, but I should try and push myself to be a bit more social, to make this kind of connections to other people. I want to try and read 20 books. This year my resolution was 12, and I ended up reading 12 books over the summer break. So by the end of like February, March, I'd already achieved that goal. And I'm like, when I was writing this resolution, I did think to myself, I haven't gotten back into reading yet. Is it achievable? And I'm like, you know what? This is a goal I need to strive for. This is a goal that might be a bit difficult to attain, but I should push myself to get there. And I know I can easily read 20 books. I've read like 30 this year. So yeah, I want to reach 100 hours of driving. My goal in terms of driving for this year was to get my license, and I'm at like 44 hours. So I thought when writing this down, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna say get my license, I'm just gonna say like get to 100 hours. And if I do get my license, that's great, but I'm just so busy I have no time for driving. But hopefully I'll be driving sooner rather than later. And then finally, just that uni, self, and social kind of balance. I don't think there's much explaining that needs to be done for that. But yeah, just making time for myself, making time to spend with others, whether that's my boyfriend or my friends, and also focusing on uni and doing the best that I can. Okay, so next up we have my relationships page. This is mostly focused on my relationship with my boyfriend. I think there are a couple family things here though, but all the photos, as you can see, are kind of dates and couple stuff, but that wasn't aided by the fact that when I put in family aesthetic into Pinterest, it was all like babies and stuff. So yeah, the little affirmation at the top actually isn't an affirmation. It is just a text from my boyfriend from a while ago, but I still love it. It's basically just, I'll never stop loving you, we're a team. That is a combination of two different text messages, but I think it's a good reminder. And then as for the affirmations from Pinterest on here, I feel so safe in my man's arms, which is true. I am in the perfect soul-aligned relationship, and my relationship is becoming stronger and more resilient every day. So my resolutions for my relationships for 2025 is to, like I said previously, go on more walks. I want to visit 3 new date locations. So just going to places we haven't been to before, just for a bit of fun. I want to just continue communicating, continue making sure we're working on our communication and everything. I want to go on a trip to Sorrento with him again. He has a beach house down there. If you've seen some of my past videos, you'll know that we've been on a couple trips down there together, and I'd really like to do that again. Start a 3rd scrapbook. So far I'm on our 2nd relationship scrapbook for the 2nd year of our relationship. Yeah. Sorry, yes, just doing that math in my head. I won't get into that. I won't show it to you just because it's not like overly personal, but it's very much just for us. Just continue focusing and planning like our future together. Just, you know, keep, I don't know, having that motivation, keep our eyes on just like what we really want together. So that even if we have some difficult times, we can kind of just be like, still want that life with each other. This was very difficult for me to write, but go on a hike together. I hate hiking. But he has suggested a couple times over the course of our relationship that we go on a hike together, and I'm like, okay, fine. Let's put it down there. And I will go on a hike for him, with him for him, and hopefully it counts. It's like 5 walks or something. And then we have the family stuff, so just like value my family more, make a couple new friends, and go out with a group of friends. Which I know sounds super basic, but like I said, I'm not overly social. At least not like outside of uni. I'm very social at uni, but outside of that our weekends are so full. But even just like the breaks, I just really enjoy and need that time just to myself. to kind of recharge, but that's still there. No, don't fall again. There we go. It's my little Gingy Christmas pillow. Another sip of coffee. Next, we are flicking on over to my academics. So obviously, as a fashion design student, none of this is overly academic. It's all very creative, like sketches, drawing, sewing machines, but there are some like essay things here because I do have one subject which requires writing essays. And so the affirmation at the top of this page is, I'm good at what I do and only attract good grades, which I'm hoping is gonna be true next year. So I have quite a few goals for this one actually. I thought I wouldn't have that many, but here we are. Start context essays at least a week before the due date. So context, design context, is the class that requires essays. And this year, I seriously would not write my essays until like the weekend before the due date, which would usually be a Monday. Not proud of that. So that's why I want to try actually get on top of them so I'm not then stressing on the day. I want to create a graduate collection that I'm really proud of. Second year, since I'm doing an accelerated course, is the final year of my bachelor's degree. So that includes creating a grad collection, and I want to create one that I can look at and genuinely think to myself, I'm super proud of that. Because my work up until, like a lot of my work up until this point has been like, I'm proud that I made a garment that can actually be worn, that I have something to showcase, but I can do better. So I want this to be something that is truly a reflection of my best work possible, something that I look at and can 100% just say, I'm so proud of that. I did well. I'm really happy with this. I want to focus more on details, just focusing on like the little things, making sure everything is perfect, which brings me into the next resolution, which is to try and do things right the first time, aka not so much unpicking, because if you do something wrong when you sew it, you have to then unpick it, and unpicking is hell on earth. And I want to do things right the first time to avoid this, especially with my graduate collection. I don't want to be wasting time unpicking sorry, and resewing. I want it all to just be, you know. I want to get an HD on my grad collection, which is a high distinction. There is really no choice for me but to get a high distinction. That's just, like, I have to. Especially if I want it to be showcased well at the graduate runway. And if you get less than a high-end distinction, not a high distinction, if you get less than a higher end distinction, like a D+, you actually don't get to showcase your work at the end of the year, which is terrifying, but maybe it's just the terror that will push me to do well. I want to fill a grad research DIJ, design research journal, before trimester 5. So that just means I want to do all my research in preparation before I actually need to start doing my graduate, so that way I have more time to sew, pretty much. I want to then create 2 to 3 looks in trimester 5. So usually trimester 5 is just focusing on the hero, but I want to make 2 or 3 complete looks, because then that means I can make a larger collection. I want to try and get into Melbourne Fashion Week. This is a pretty high resolution. I don't know how realistic it's going to be. I'm definitely going to apply for Melbourne Fashion Week, and I'm going to do the best that I can. This is a bit ambitious, I feel, but it's definitely achievable if I do my best work. And finally, I want to try and enter a couple competitions. There's always competitions for second years being like emailed around, I think, so I want to see if I can do a couple of those. 2 more to go, guys, and then just a couple habit trackers and stuff. Next up is my finances. I mean, there's not really much here other than, like, you know, money aesthetics, sewing, like business stuff, like small business stuff, a nice website and everything. The affirmation at the top of this page is, I'm capable of creating the life I desire. Good things are coming. And then the other affirmation, mental blank. The other affirmation on this page is, in my business owner era. So my financial resolutions are to start selling clothes, whether that's just over the summer before I start uni, that's fine. That will fill that resolution because I will be very busy. I want to try and monetize my YouTube channel. I've been trying to do that over the past year, but that's not going to be happening this year. So hopefully maybe I can achieve it next year. I want to be my own boss, launch my brand. So that includes like launching like my website and everything, and officially putting my fashion brand out there. That doesn't necessarily mean actually selling anything, but actually having a website that showcases my work and everything is kind of what's most important. And then finally, focus on saving for nice things rather than buying more cheap things. So that means not shopping on Amazon every other day. I mean, I'll still shop on Amazon, just not every other day. So yeah, focusing on saving for a nice pair of shoes or maybe a nice jacket or something. I don't know, we'll see. And finally, my socials, just very basic. YouTube, taking aesthetic photos for Instagram, editing, being a boss bitch. So the affirmation at the top of this page is similar to the last one, but it says, I'm good at what I do and success is ever growing. And then my other thing down here says she's building her own empire. And my social media resolutions for next year are to continue posting weekly vlogs, launch a website, which is tied to finances, do more collaborations. I have already done one this past year, and I want to try and do more. Post 3 to 4 times a week on social media, whether that be TikTok, Instagram, doesn't matter. And to post 2 videos a week when on breaks, like I am trying to achieve right now. So those are my resolutions for 2025. It's a lot, but I'm feeling very motivated, and I feel like having this binder like book is gonna really motivate me. So I think that's really, really good. And then I promised to give you a little preview of my trackers. This is just my mood tracker, just like a bit of a year in pixels thing. Reading tracker, exercise tracker, ooh, my anxiety tracker, and my depression tracker. Just trying to make sure that I'm very aware of how I am doing mentally. Then I'm just gonna have like a bit of a recipe section. Some of my favorite recipes are gonna have a bit of a uni section with uni dates and everything. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this maybe gave you a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of motivation to maybe start getting onto your own New Year's resolutions. But I hope you really enjoyed. Thank you for tuning in, and please consider subscribing if you enjoyed this, or at least checking out some of my other videos. But I will be back very, very soon, and so once again, thank you, stay healthy and happy, and I love you guys.